We're looking forward to seeing everybody down in San Antonio the week of April the 3rd. This video is just a quick preview of what's going to be happening down at the San Antonio venue. Dr. Chang has got an invitation out. If you haven't received it yet, please contact us and we'll be happy to send over the particulars. What I'd like to show you in this demo real quickly is how the CyboSoft software is being utilized by our customers to comply with the RSR, the refinery sector rule. And I'd like to just walk through some of these traces that you're watching in this simulation. It has been sped up so that you can see how a real flare might behave under these types of conditions. The gray trace represents the flow rate of the flare header. The green trace represents the net heating value as may be achieved if you were using a calorimeter such as Hobre or a mass spectrometer. We're going to simulate what would happen if you relied on your gas chromatograph to determine net heating value here. But in this simulation, the output value that would control your fuel gas and steam assist, if you're using a steam assisted flare, is represented in red. Let's just flip this switch real quickly, show you what happens if you use a gas chromatograph, as many of our customers invested in GCs for subpart JA compliance in 2015 for reporting to speciate. A gas chromatograph is simply not fast enough from a process control perspective to give you the resolution that you would rely on for doing good process control. So although a lot of customers have GCs and they work great for what they were intended for, getting a fast net heating value is just simply not a viable solution. So switching that back off, you'll see the square wave that is the time that it takes for a gas chromatograph to get net heating value has returned to a much more fluid flow rate, or rather fluid measurement. If you don't have sufficient steam control, and again this example is assuming the customer has steam, we are aware that many of our customers have air assist, and we can talk about that in detail at the training class in April 3rd. But if you have poor steam control, you can see how the steam control would challenge the control system to achieve set point. Again, the goal of the operation here is to stay above the yellow line. If you have control system ambitions that rely on process proportional, integral, and derivative control, this simulation in the lower window shows you what would happen if you relied on a PID controller. PIDs certainly are around. They've worked very well in many applications for many, many years. However, this is a dynamic process control loop that we have found is just simply not achievable with conventional control methods. We also recognize there's model-based control, and that's also a challenge for a dynamic environment such as a flare gas environment. So this trace simulates what would happen if you used PID control. Finally, what I'd like to do is just expose you to a design guide slide deck that's been compiled. It's available for download, and I'm not going to go through every page in great detail, but this does state what the RSR rule calls for, and with the illegal air emissions being targeted by the EPA, it's a pretty substantial undertaking that every refinery is going to have to comply with by the end of 2018. It's actually January of 2019 when the RSR rule comes into effect. It's detailed here on this slide. We've got a lot of information in here. Some of the things I pointed out in the simulation just a moment ago is that the minimum BTU value of 270 BTU per SCF in the net heating value in the vent gas measurement, then the combustion zone changes, and we can go through some of the math in this slide deck. I'm not going to go into the great detail. I just wanted to show you some of the parameters that our software is able to allow you to comply with. In the case of the steam-assisted flare simulation that I just showed, this would be the flow diagram that we would be drawing the signals from and providing control elements to. If you use air assist, it changes up the control process flow a little bit. Finally, the CyboSoft team has been doing this since the early 90s for a variety of difficult to control process loops. This is just a static image simulation similar to what I just showed you. And then finally, some of the challenges that our customers are going to have to wrestle with if they choose to go it alone with their own control methods. And then finally, what the MFA brings to the party. We do look forward to seeing you down there in San Antonio. And again, that's April 3rd through the 5th. If you've missed that class or aren't able to attend, we'd certainly be happy to make arrangements to meet with you directly one-on-one or have a site visit if that's more applicable. Thank you.